Please rise to welcome His Excellency Dr. Cao Thach. Thank you. Please be seated. His Excellency Dr. Cao Thach, Delegate of the Royal Government in charge as Chief Executive Officer of the Agricultural and Rural Development Bank, Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, Secretary General of the Asia Pacific Rural and Agricultural Credit Association, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and welcome to the APRACA Center of Excellence Green Finance to Agriculture, or ARDB ACE-GFA, workshop on advancing green and sustainable finance, pathway and opportunities for financial institutions. This very important event marks the official launch of ARDB ACE-GFA, an initiative led by the Agricultural and Rural Development Bank, ARDB, in collaboration with the Asia and Pacific Rural and Agricultural Credit Association, or APRACA. Before we proceed, allow me to briefly present the agenda of this morning's workshop. We will begin with the opening remarks by His Excellency Dr. Cao Thach, followed by a group photo session. Then we will begin our presentation session where distinguished speakers share insights on key topics such as conceptual framework on green finance, national strategies and policy frameworks, institutional challenges and best practices in promoting green finance. Please kindly note that a coffee break is scheduled around 9:50 a.m., after which we will resume with additional presentation and a panel discussion featuring distinguished experts from Cambodia and the region. The workshop will conclude with a closing remark, and we invite all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to join us for a networking lunch at around 11:45 a.m. Without further ado, it is now my distinct honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Cao Thach, Delegate of the Royal Government in charge as Chief Executive Officer of ARDB, to deliver the opening remarks. Please welcome.
Very good morning to everyone here today. I think we should conduct the workshop in English, national workshop, not the local one. I apologize to speak in English rather than in Khmer today, but in the afternoon we will have the launch of our Center of Excellence and research centers as well as the library as well. So I hope you will join as well. So let me start with to greet our distinguished guests from APRACA, Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das. He's the APRACA Secretary General. And Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor and privilege to welcome you to the workshop on advancing green and sustainable finance, pathway and opportunity for financial institutions, organized by the Asia Pacific Rural and Agricultural Credit Association. We call it the APRACA, and Center of Excellence Green Finance to Agriculture of Agricultural and Rural Development Bank, also known as ARDB ACE-GFA. First and foremost, I would like to extend my warmest welcome and deepest appreciation to Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, Secretary General of APRACA, esteemed speakers and panelists, distinguished national and international guests, and all participants who have taken time out of their busy schedule to join us today. Before I proceed, allow me to introduce the ARDB ACE-GFA, This is a newly established research center was created under the Memorandum of Understanding between ARDB and Africa as a center dedicated to green and climate finance for agri-food sector in Asia Pacific regions. ARDB ACE GFA seek to advance research, facilitate knowledge exchange, provide training, promote policy dialogues, pilot testing of innovations, and offer advisory consulting services to strengthen sustainable finance within the agri-food system. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, the impact of climate change are already being felt across the globe. But the agricultural sector, particularly in developing economies, is especially vulnerable. Unpredictable weather pattern, prolonged drought, and extreme floods threatens our food securities, disrupt livelihood, and exacerbate poverty in rural areas. This is particularly true for smallholder farmers, who are at the heart of our food system. However, addressing climate change in the agri-food system requires a shift toward green, sustainable practices, which demand a significant investment. According to the top-down analysis, global agri-food system require USD 1.1 trillion annually until 2030 to achieve emission reduction and climate resilience targeted under Paris agreements. This is where financial institutions have a transformative role to play. They must act as enablers, mobilizing capital and managing risk, directing finance toward low emission, climate resilient activities. Achieving this requires innovative financial instruments, sector-specific investment frameworks, risk-sharing mechanisms, robust policy frameworks, and strategic partnerships that support the transition to a green economy. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to empower both local and international financial institutions to actively and effectively contribute to drive this shift, ARDB ACE GFA has initiated today's workshop entitled Advancing Green and Sustainable Finance, Pathway to an Opportunity for Financial Institutions, which also marked the official launch of the center. We are privileged to have assemblies of financial leaders, policymakers, regulators, sustainability experts who will share insight into to how financial institutions can actively contribute to a green financial agenda. The workshop consists of two key sessions. The presentation session will focus on the fundamental of sustainable finance, regulatory framework for green investment, opportunity for financial institutions to scale climate finance, and best case study, including experiences from Cambodia Climate Finance Facility, CCFF, under the Green Climate Fund, GCF. Additionally, the panel discussion will serve as an interactive platform where experts will engage in a dialogue on this critical topic, with a particular focus on practical solution, strategies, and opportunity for advancing green and sustainable finance in the regions. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage each of you to actively engage and contribute your expertise, ask critical questions, and exchange ideas. The insight gained from here should not only shape your own practices, but also inspire you to drive impactful change within your organization and communities. The road ahead requires strong partnership, continuous learning, and decisive leadership. I am confident that today's discussion will lead to meaningful collaborations and actionable outcomes that will drive the green finance agenda forward. In closing, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to APRACA Secretariats, our esteemed panelists and speakers, distinguished national and international guests, and all participants who have dedicated their valuable time to this workshop today. Finally, I extend my best wish to all Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, for good health, success, and prosperities. I now declare the official opening of the ARDB ACE GFA workshop on advancing green and sustainable finance, pathway and opportunity for financial institutions from now on. Thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency, for your insightful remarks. Now, I would like to invite His Excellency Dr. Kautaj, Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, Senior Management of ARDB, including His Excellency Deputy CEO, as well as all of our speakers and panelists to proceed to the front of the room for a group photo. May I also invite His Excellency Deputy CEOs to join us for a group photo? Thank you. And lastly, may I kindly invite all participants to rise and join us for a group photo as well. Yes, please rise to join us for a group photo. Thank you very much, and please be seated. To begin the presentation session, it is my honor to welcome Dr. Prasoon Kumar Das, APRACA Secretary General, to share insights on an important topic called Conceptual Framework of Green Finance to Agri-Food Sector. Dr. Prasoon is the Secretary General of APRACA, an association of 95 financial institutions across 24 countries, focused on building the capacity of financial service providers in delivering sustainable finance for agriculture and rural enterprises. He previously served in roles with IFAD-funded projects, FAO, and DFID-funded projects, and has extensive experience in banking and rural finance in India. He currently holds a PhD in agricultural sciences an MBA in Financial Management and Professional Certification in Banking and Finance. He also authored many books, country reports, as well as peer-reviewed research papers. So it's my honor to hand the floor to you, Dr. Prasoon. Thank you.
Yeah, this one. Oh, it's okay. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Good morning to all of you. Distinguished His Excellency Dr. Kautaj, my good friends, Dr. Van Lim, and all other colleagues from ARDB, as well as some other financial institutions, those who are present today. My colleague from BASE, Mr. Richai, and dear friends. This presentation is a little longer as Dr. Kautaj was talking about the imminent threat, what we are facing about the climate change. And majorly, we as human being, we feel it, but how, as a financial institutions, how to deal with it. So feeling it and dealing it is a completely different ball game. So what we will try here is to provide you a little bit idea about this green finance and the framework, what we are going to do, what we are expected to do in next 4 to 5 years down the line, so that the commitment of the Royal Government of Cambodia made in Paris Agreement can be achieved, if not fully, but at least to certain extent, which will support our smallholder farming community in the country. So this presentation starts like this, with a introduction to the climate and green finance, because as I said, that we will be dealing mostly about the financial institutions, financial products, some of the instruments being used, newly developed instruments, and the taxonomy, which we are still lagging here in Cambodia, although we have a taxonomy in ASEAN taxonomy, what we will be calling it as a green finance, which one will be under the green finance. However, we do not have a taxonomy of the country. So how the taxonomy will be helpful? Then who are the drivers and instruments and archetypes of climate finance and green finance, some ecosystem, green finance supply and demand side, little bit analysis, innovations, policies, regulations. I hope that some of our friends from NBC also are present here. Then some of the findings and recommendations, which might be as ARDB, as the Public Development Bank, can lead through the new center for the green finance to agri-food sector. So if you see the introduction, there are some pain points for all of us, as a banker, as a financial institution, or even as a farmer, and even as a civil society, people, as a human being. So we do have the pain points. Now, if we see the pain points, maybe it's very small in size, but it is basically we divided the pain points into 5 types. One is agriculture food system collectively at the greatest cause of biodiversity. Entire biodiversity depends on agriculture and food sector. So to breach that biodiversity is the impact of today's climate change, because we breached that. So the second one is the subject to the barriers. There are a lot of entry barriers. Agriculture finance itself is risky. And when we talk about on top of it, green finance, climate finance, it is even riskier. It means we are putting one more layer of risk on it. The third one is the climate change continues to increase the strain on the global food system. It is visible. Your price, food price, if you consider your food price for the last 10 years, you will see the change. Food price is even higher than the prices of oil and gold. I mean the growth. People do not see that because food is essential for us. But the prices are very high. The fifth one is the small scale agricultural actors, those who are 85%, maybe more here, but globally 85%, which includes US, Europe, everything. So, if we see that, you will see that we encounter with the finance. We do not have proper investment facility available for them. These are the pain points. Now coming to the investment low gaps, I think Dr. Khautach already talked about the investment gap, which is 1.3 trillion, which is huge amount of investment gap. And since 2020, even before that, before COVID, we are listing the same amount. It means there is no change. Means the investment is stagnant. So, and only some of the report from IFAD and CPI said that we have only 1.4% of the global finance has gone to the smallholder farmer. Just can imagine, 1.4% of the global finance. Going to the next is the understanding why we need a green finance. See, there are many issues on mechanism and tools because we are talking about the framework. So, mitigation finance. Avoid or reduce avoid, reduce and remove. There are three levels. Avoid, reduce and remove, which is the GHG emission. So, we know that agriculture itself, including livestock, is giving us around 30% of the global green gas alone. Agriculture alone. So you can imagine that we are talking about other transport sector or other energy sector. Agriculture itself is providing you 30% of the global green gas. We need to reduce it. We need to avoid it. We need to remove it. So how we do it? Adaptation and resilient finance, prepare and prevent, respond to recover, and risk and impact of adverse climate activities, which is not in our hand. Climate activities, on 28th we are in Bangkok, we have seen the earthquake. It's more than 2 minutes, more than 2 minutes. So we cannot change that. But what we can do is to do the adaptation. Prepare the farmers, prepare the human being, prepare the business, prepare the enterprise to absorb the shock. So this we can do through investments. Coming to the next, if you see the taxonomy. Why we talk about taxonomy? Because we loosely call climate finance, sustainable finance, green finance, but we need to understand the meaning of each of them. This is very important because until we know, our next generation will not know. So we need to know it. So that's why we need a clear-cut taxonomy, clear-cut definition of each of them. So first comes the sustainable finance, which is a basically kind of, overarching or kind of a umbrella, where we talk about the focus is on environment, social and governance. I think all of us have heard about the ESG. So this is ESG. Now coming to green finance. Green finance is a subset of sustainable finance. So when you say sustainable finance, it covers everything. But when you say green finance, it's a part of sustainable finance, which focus on, broad umbrella refer to the investment. So green finance is basically the investment. Whereas sustainable finance look into environment, social and governance. Climate finance, it's a subset of green finance. So when you say green finance, if you have seen even our center in ARDB, the name proposed by ARDB is a green finance, which covers climate finance also, because climate finance is a subset of green finance. And the fourth one is the green finance to agriculture, which was basically absent in the whole global taxonomy. We, through FAO, APRACA, we started adding this also as a part of the taxonomy. Now go to the next one. Which is on the rationale, why we need a green finance for the agriculture sector. There is as I said, that 13 to 21%, this is in Asia, because the study was done by Asian Development Bank. 13 to 21% of global greenhouse gas emission done by agriculture alone. ADB estimates climate change could reduce developing Asia and the Pacific GDP by 17%. Means the total GDP of this region can be reduced by 17% in 2070. It's a study. Meager 2.5% of the total climate finance flow is tracked. Means whatever you are doing as a bank is not considered. Means there is no tracking mechanism. We are talking with the central banking system, and we have come up with a new publication. Last week only the publication came up by FAO and APRACA, where we have prepared one major breakthrough on the reporting system. How you will report your achievements in supporting the NDC of a country. It seems that the NDCs are being only considered by the government, but the National Public Development Bank, for example, commercial banks, microfinance institution, their contribution never been considered. So we try to develop a tracking mechanism. Coming to the next, is the drivers. We did a study where the global green finance index, and if you see this, you see the policy and regulatory framework has the highest index, whereas loss of biodiversity and food security are in the lowest category. Means understanding about the biodiversity is very low. Food security, mostly it's not so much, but the nutrition security is definitely there. Nutrition is not properly secured. So what we need is policy and regulatory framework, because that is the most important. The second one is the investors' demand. Investors, as a bank or as a private investor, angel investor, whosoever, even ADB, World Bank, whosoever come as an investor, their demand, we have to consider that also as a part of the green finance. So this is one of the major study by the GGF that they have done the indexing across the globe with 87 countries. Now coming to the instruments and archetypes. What are the instruments we are using? See, majorly there are 5 instruments which are common in other investment process also. What is the difference? The difference is that we have, in green finance, we want to mix and match. For example, if you see the debt instrument, that is the most important instrument, debt instrument. Those who are from the banks, they know the debt instrument is the most important. Now, in debt instrument, we have many type of instrument, many type of product. See, the first one is the instruments, but the below, when you granularize it, these are, we call it as a product. So the instrument and products are different. Okay, under products can be under one instrument. So the products are green corporate bond. When a corporate issue a bond, green securitization. You know, we do the securitization. When you want a portfolio of agriculture or SME, you do a securitization. So here is a securitization, which is a green securitization. So if you have a green portfolio, I securitize as a banker for those green portfolio. Then green sovereign bond, which was issued by the sovereign bank like ARDB. We have our example from BASE, Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperative. They issued the sovereign bond, sovereign green bond. Then we have the green project bond. These are the products. Now coming to the equity. Equity is equally important, but in green finance, we do not consider equity as a major, major instrument. So we always try to consider that the debt as an instrument. So that's why we put another instrument, debt plus equity. So this is another very interesting instrument where we have green perpetual bond. Means once you have issued a bond, for example, in tranche A, first tranche, second tranche, then you can consider it as a perpetual bond. Means it will continue for another 5 years, then another 5 years. So then it become a bond, debt plus equity. Then convertibility also will be there. Then the enhancer, credit enhancer. Who are those? Guarantees. Credit guarantee. We know that NBC holds a guarantee program. They have the Cambodia Guarantee Fund is with the National Bank of Cambodia. So whether that will support the green finance. So we need to know whether they are supporting the green finance. If at all, then what kind of a product they are providing us, whether it is a first loss or it is a viability gap funding, all these things. Then kind of a risk transfer. As you know, insurance is a part of risk transfer, which is almost absent in this country. So we need to develop insurance product, insurance instrument. Then global archetype, you see the domestic public finance companies, international public finance, and private finance. So there are three major financing archetype. National budget, sectoral budget coming from the public finance, then international public finance, bilateral, multilateral, private finance companies, foundation, many other areas. Next is the background, funding source. Now we are talking about funding. Where will be the funding source? Public source, private source, and philanthropic. So public source, national, subnational budget, state-owned specialized banks like ARDB, BASE, bilateral agencies, for example, Asian Development Bank, COICA, JICA, all those, and multilateral, World Bank, and all other. Private sources, banks, private banks, microfinance, cooperative, financial cooperative. We don't consider them, but they are very important. Then other investment companies, family offices, and philanthropic. Philanthropic, you know all. Coming to the green climate finance ecosystem. This is very important. We developed this framework for the global knowledge. What is that? Everything is what we discussed. Only if you go to the last part of it, which is green finance escalators. So we identified 4 types of escalators which will escalate or which will support the green finance. Innovation incubator. We do not have the time, energy, and resources to use this innovation lab or innovation incubation, which is very important. For example, I remember about 15 years back, we started working on a alternate wet and dry method, AWD, in rice. 15 years back. Now it has become a very important technology for rice, water management in rice. And that reduce also the climate change and the GHG. Then second one is network and associations like ours. They provide the knowledge. They disseminate the knowledge. Third one, research and advisory services. The center, APRACA Center, ARDB Center, they will do the research and advisory services for the country, for the region, and finally the international cooperation, which we are doing now. So this is what actually the framework ecosystem should work like this. Coming to the where Asia stand, where we are now. Landscape assessment of green financing to agriculture sector in Asia Pacific. If you see this, as I think already we discussed about the 5 type of instrument, we are here. We have only seen in the GMS, BAC issuing the dedicated green bond to agriculture. No other country did it. We are trying with other countries at the moment. Recently we had a discussion with Vietnam, and next we have a preliminary discussion with ARDB also. So this is where we are. Asia, there are big countries like China, India, many other, Japan. They issued green bond, but not dedicated to agriculture alone. That is very important. Then green deposit for agriculture sector. There is a very interesting, instrument coming up, green deposit. Means the deposit you are taking from the farmers will be used for green finance. So that we are reterm it as a green deposit. So what is that green deposit scheme? We do not have it at the moment, but we can do it. Then weather index insurance. We tried, but the premium is so high in case of weather index insurance because the private sector will be providing this weather index insurance that the farmers are not interested because the premium, high premium. So who will be subsidizing it? Whether government will subsidize it or some other entity will come to subsidize this weather index. Coming to the next is GMS. We talked about Asia, now we are in the GMS. In GMS, if we see the challenges, the policies and regulation asymmetry. In GMS, Thailand has a policy which is different than Cambodia. So there is asymmetry. We do not have a common policy in GMS. Vietnam is coming up with a new policy. What about Laos? So there is a asymmetry. How to resolve that asymmetry? Limited awareness within ourselves and limited availability of suitable financial resources also. Because whatever we are going to get from the external financial institution like multilateral or bilaterals are mostly used for the food security, not for the green finance. Because green finance adaptation need a longer term, 5-year, 10-year, which you do not have the luxury to use it. Then I am not going into other, but opportunities are also there. It is not only a challenge, but opportunities are there. Heavy reliance on the agriculture sector. All the GMS country, if you can see, agriculture sector is the backbone. I'm not talking about all the ASEAN countries, not talking about Singapore or Brunei. But Asia, GMS countries, this is the backbone. So that is our opportunity. Increasing trend in sustainable agriculture practices, technology change. If you see 20 years back, those who are doing rice farming, and today the rice farming is completely different. Technology changed everything. Growing appetite for green financing instrument. BASC has shown it, that green financing instrument can be successful. We will listen from him also. And growing trends of appetite for green and certified agricultural product, which is organic products having higher market value. Now coming to the global trends, I'm not going into this, but what I want to tell you, that whosoever say all this big talk about we are doing green finance, World Bank, GCF and all, if you see agriculture allocation is only 36%. Only 36%, whereas they should be at least 50%. Otherwise, we cannot reach that targets. Then demand and supply analysis, which is very important to understand the demand and supply analysis. If you see the primary agriculture product under GCF funding is only 12%. Under GCF funding, only 12%. Non-primary agriculture is 29%. Even include these two together is also nothing, just 41%. Okay, so that is the supply side part, but there is a demand side reason also. Slow pace of adaptation by the farmers. Why? Because we do not have the mechanism. The governments do not have the mechanism to transfer the technology to the farmers, green technology to the farmers. So there is a slow adaptation. Non-diversified household income. Some farmer, they only do agriculture. No diversification. For example, in Cambodia, the newest opportunity is the livestock. Huge amount of export value of the livestock. So how they will shift from agriculture to livestock or keep a mix and match to that is important. Low level of awareness about the green finance, everybody knows it. Coming to the green finance supply and demand analysis, I think I'm not going into the, I suppose they will be providing you this, this presentation. What are the innovations? I said about the innovation initially. So there are 4 types of innovations we identified across the globe, which is also common here. First innovation is the delivery instrument. We deliver as a bank, we deliver as a financial institution. So what are the delivery instruments you have? What kind of good practices you are adopting? Innovations in policies and enablers, that is for the central banks and the government departments. Line department, what kind of innovation, innovative policies on central banking, fiscal incentive. Why the bank will do a green finance when there is a long term? So what will be the fiscal incentive to them? Whether they will get any tax benefit? What kind of fiscal incentive? Then technology-enabled innovation. Everybody knows that technology is most important. If we have the technology, innovations are very fast. Then innovations in risk-proofing technique. Without the risk-proofing technique, whatever innovation or whatever delivery you are doing is not going to work. Innovative risk-proofing mechanism, we just give one, we just give one example of the risk-proofing mechanism, how green bond, loans and equity, these are the 3 major product or instrument, how the risk and return is related. And if you see the green bonds, return are little lower, but risk is very low. That's why we are talking about the green bonds. Yeah. policies and regulations. So there are macroeconomic policies enabling green investment, which is a completely financial, the ministries area, central banks area, the regulations and guidelines also, what we need, and stakeholder engagement. That is most important for all of us. Where the central banking agencies and the financial supervisors, stock exchange, investment board, how they are engaging with all the stakeholder. I know that they don't talk with all the banks. They don't talk with the microfinance. They don't talk with the cooperatives. But they are very important entity to adopt this green finance. A range of public sector institutions, all they are the stakeholders. So we need to understand their importance. Coming to the findings, the key findings: lack of common definition, nationally determined contribution. NDCs have never talked about the green finance. They talked about a sustainable finance which ESG based. But when you say green finance, it is investment or financing. It is not mentioned in the NDC. If you go to any NDC, then skewed to clean energy. If you see, all the green finance are going to the clean energy transportation, not in agriculture. Then dealing to the downstream means the value chain. We think only about the farmers, but we don't think about the other actors. For example, the rice millers, how they will adopt the green finance. Innovations in green agri-food sector. Then hurdles in designing commercially viable agri-resilience investment project, and lack of policy level commitments. So the next one are the key recommendation. Intensive policy level engagements, everybody knows it. Scaled up engagement with the financial institution level, which is not done most cases. Central bank and regulatory policies should involve the financial institution to discuss and finalize. Banking and financial sector policy reform, carefully you have to do it. Encourage develop green insurance product like crop insurance, index insurance. Setting medium and long-term priorities, strengthening public and private PPP, public and private investment relationship. Promote regional and international cooperation, which we are doing, and post-COVID green growth push, which is very important, keeping in view the current. Now, we need to walk the talk. What we discuss, we need to do it. So, inclusive and representative taxonomy, which is very important at the moment for the country like Cambodia. Not only a taxonomy, but it should be inclusive and representative. Second, bridge the disconnect of demand and supply. Means we are all supply driven. Like what we produce as a banker, we want the farmers to adopt that. But there is a disconnect. So we need to reduce that disconnect. Expanding fiscal incentive. Why we will do it? What kind of a fiscal incentive the government is going to give me? Strengthening the global pooled green finance mechanism. GCF ready. You know, most of the banks are not GCF ready. GCF has 110 criteria. We are not ready to adopt all those 110 criteria. So how to make the banks GCF ready? Innovations in financing mechanism. There is nothing wrong or right. Any innovation which is helpful to the farming community is innovation. Thank you. I rest here. I think I have taken a little bit more time than the allocation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasoon, for laying the conceptual foundation for our discussion today. It was very, very comprehensive. Thank you very much. Next, I would like to respectfully invite Mr. Ong Seun, Climate Finance Specialist under the General Directorate of Policy and Strategy at the Ministry of Environment, to present on the topic National Strategies for Advancing Green Finance Initiative. Our distinguished speaker today is a Cambodian climate change specialist with over 15 years of experience across governments, UN agencies, and NGOs. He has been actively involved in international climate negotiations, including the UNFCCC conference since 2012. Currently, he is a climate finance specialist supporting the General Directorate of Policy and Strategy of the Ministry of Environment in national climate policy development, resource mobilization, and capacity building. Mr. Seun, the floor is yours. Thank you.
My respectful to Excellency Dr. Cao Thach, delegate to the Royal Government Cambodia and the CEOs of the ARDB, Mr. and Dr. Secretary Generals of the APRACA, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen of the line industry, developed partner, bank, finance institution, economy, and other stakeholders. My name is Ong Seun. I'm working to support the Ministry of Environment and the climate financing and also the policy framework related to climate change. So today I'm very happy to have the opportunity to share with you all the government effort to respond to the climate change and resource mobilization to support the government policy and priority in Cambodia. And my presentation will be focused on the strategies for the advancing green climate finance initiative. And I believe that in this workshop, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and Lord Chumtil, well known about the climate change and also the impact on the economic developments in Cambodia. As you know, please next slide, please. Next. As you know that Cambodia is now playing an important role to lead the international role in response to the climate change, and also the first country that conduct the climate public expenditure review. This is a cooperation between the Ministry of the Environment and Ministry of Economy and Finance to conduct every year, annually, to see the climate, the public and the government spending on the climate change response in Cambodia. So this is important that show every year the climate change trends in Cambodia and climate and finance flow to Cambodia to support the government effort to respond to climate change. The government, Ministry of Environment, and also and cooperate with the Ministry of Economy and Finance already take over to build capacity to the line industry to conduct a cost and benefit analysis on the green investment and climate investment related to infrastructure, related to agriculture, water resource management, and other sector. Yes, I'm going to present and share with you about the cost effect that impact from the climate change on economic growth that is conducted in 2018. As you know that in the red lines, you see the impact on the economic growth from 2020 until the 2050. You see the economic growth is, the climate change is impact and reduce and decrease of GDP growth every 4.1% per year from 2017 and until the 2050. These are absolutely value that founding from the research, the joint study from the Ministry of Economy and Finance and Ministry of Ministry of Environment. So these are the study available on the website of the NCSD. So you can access this study, and you can see the impact of climate change on agriculture, on industry, and on the service. And totally, if next slide, please. I don't have, okay, sorry, it's here. So you can see the headline. If no climate change, if without climate change, the economic growth in Cambodia is highest. You see here, this is around 9,000 US dollar per capita. It's high. If no climate change happen. But as you know, that climate change has happened already, and will be happen and increase the impact in the future. The projection is say that if we don't have any adaptation or mitigation effort, the line will be lower than expected. I mean that the climate change is already happened and impact on economic growth on all sectors. They get an impact from the climate change. If we don't have any action to prevent, to adapt, or to mitigate the GHG, so this impact from the climate change will be affect to the economic growth in Cambodia. So the Cambodia cannot achieve the the developing country in the future if we don't have any action from now on. So I would like to share with you about the international effort to combat the climate change in the world. As you know that under the UNFCCC framework, they have clustered the countries here. We call NAC 1, NAC 2, and NAC 1. The NAC 1 country under the UNFCCC have to obligate to adopt the policy measure with aim to reduce greenhouse gas emission from the global. And NAC 2 is the industrial country, the rich country that is emit the greenhouse gas to the world a lot. So this country have to provide the finance, support to the developing country or the poor country to adapt to the climate change. Cambodia we classify into the non-management, so we don't have an obligation to reduce or to cut the greenhouse gas. But the Cambodia government commit to reduce the greenhouse gas voluntarily. No obligation, but voluntary to reduce the greenhouse gas from the development. So Cambodia, this is the framework that as you know that the UN Framework Convention on the Climate Change launching in 1990s. So the convention now have the convention have ratified by 197 parties and 179 countries in the world to ratify this the framework. So all the country, the objective of the UNFCCC try to establish stabilization of the greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere. Okay. So Cambodia, we also the one country that the members and ratify this the Paris Agreement on the climate change. So all the leaders in in 2015. All the leaders ratify and agree and adopt the Paris Agreement to keep the temperature rise below 2 degrees. And also the target is try to achieve 1.5 degree. Yes, in Cambodia, as Dr. Secretary General already mentioned that all the countries have to develop and to prepare the nationally determined contribution (NDC) to achieve to contribute to achieve the greenhouse gas mitigation and adaptation effort. In Cambodia, we have already have this NDC, and now in the being developing the NDC 3.0. And expect to be launched by July this year. The government will be submit the new NDC to the UNFCCC during the July or August. So to show the government commitment to combat the climate change. Yeah, I want to, as Dr. Secretary General already mentioned, so I don't want to speak again because this is a global climate finance architecture flow from the developing country, industry country to the least developing country and also to the vulnerable country, especially poor country. This is the fund, yeah, flow. For the government commitment, currently the government have already integrated climate change into the Pentagon strategy, first one, and also the sectoral strategy and ADP, because this now you will see the climate change. As you see the indicator of the Pentagon strategy, first one is mentioned that climate change become a main pillars of the PS1 with a specific target, GHG mitigation target. This is the key performance indicator in the Pentagon strategy and also integrate in the National Strategy Development Plan. So this is a commitment of the government to respond to the climate change and put into the government strategy and policy. Next, please. This is the law on the ratified Paris Agreement of CC, the Cambodia that ratified. And Cambodia already developed a Cambodia climate change strategy plan, and now in the process of the development new phase for 10 years on the, for the Cambodia climate change strategy plan. Next, please. Yeah, the Cambodia also have arranged the institution for the climate change response by establishing the National Council for Sustainable Development. The NCSD is honorable chair by Samdech Prime Minister and also chairman by the Minister of Environment, and the membership from the online ministry, and all the provincial governor is members of this NCSD. NCSD plays an important role to make sure that all development are thinking and consider about the green investment and sustainable development in Cambodia. Recently, it's last year, it's launching environmental and natural codes. This code, now the climate change become a law and integrated in the chapters of the code, environment code. So this Cambodia have to apply, have to enforce the climate change response. So this is the law that already approved by the government, by the assembly. So the climate change become a law now. Not only the policy, not only the paper, not only the strategy, but it's now law. So we have the content of the law mentioned about the climate change response, including the climate financing, climate adaptation also. This is a new strategy plan that already is submitted to the Council of Ministers for approval. This 10-year strategy plan of Cambodia, we call Cambodia Climate Change Strategy Plan, 2024-2033. The new strategy plan focuses more on mitigation, adaptation, and governance. So this, I hope that this strategy plan will be launching in this year. I think it's expected in June or July. I would like to share with you about the potential source of fund that can be mobilized from the global climate finance, especially green climate finance for investment. So this is a green climate fund. This is a big fund under the UNFCCC. Normally, they mobilize around $10 billion per year to support the country effort to adaptation mitigation, and also include loan, green loan. I also congratulations for ARDB that received the grants from this green climate fund this year, and also the ARDB already have a MOU with the Ministry of Environment to join and to support each other to implement the project, and also the capacity building related to green investment as well. And another fund is called a Global Environmental Facility. This can be, it's like a family of the funder that join together. This one from the Global Fertility Trust Fund, Global Biodiversity Framework Fund, Special Climate Finance. We have a partner to join this fund. This fund is a lot every year that can be accessed to for investment. Yeah, next please. Yeah, the project Cambodia already received this fund. As you see, the project title is area. Sorry, you can say this fund is focused on the biodiversity, on climate change, and land degradation related to agriculture. So Cambodia can access this fund. This is around 9 billion US dollar, and some already disbursed and some still not disbursed yet. Yeah, please. This adaptation fund. Adaptation fund also they have fund to support developing country to adapt to the climate change. So the fund can be accessed by through an accredited entity. So in Cambodia we have an accredited entity. The Green Climate Fund already grant the accredited entity to the NCDD and the Ministry of Interior. So we can channel to apply this fund through this institution. So in next phase, I think AODB or other bank interest to be accredited with the DOOP fund, so we can direct access to the fund for investment. Next, please. Yeah, another fund called Climate Investment Fund. They call in Khmer, so I can translate on time because I don't have so much time. So the fund also focus on the renewable energy for green gas mitigation, clean technology, etc. So this fund is focused on investment. Next, please. So this is the list of projects and proposals that Cambodia submit to those of agency through UNDP. UNDP have a lot of projects to support the government to prepare the proposal and submit to the donor. Yes, this is the list of projects. They have a lot of projects here. So it's still in the process of the submission, and some are still in the process of full proposal, and some already endorsed. And especially early warning for all already approved. Yes, so it is important that the Cambodia can access a lot of funds to support our investment and also development in Cambodia. Yeah, so the opportunity that we see the potential fund that Cambodia can do it to access those funds. Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry that this they don't have much time. I think if you have any question, please. Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the very insightful presentation. We will now take a short coffee break. Refreshments are served just outside the hall, so please feel free to enjoy the refreshments that are prepared. Kindly return to your seat by 10:10 a.m. as we will resume with the next round of presentation. Thank you very much. policies to promote green finance transition in agri-food sector. Allow me to also briefly introduce you to Mr. Zerdi. He is currently the leading figure of ARDB's green finance initiatives, overseeing the design and implementation of sustainable financing mechanism within the agriculture sector. He has worked extensively on strategic partnerships and institutional green finance readiness, positioning ARDB as a key player in Cambodia's green transition. It's my honor to hand the floor to you, Mr. Zerdi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, very good morning today. First of all, I would like to pay my highest respect to Excellency Dr. Kao Thach, Royal Government Delegate of and in charge as AODB CEO, and Dr. Prasun Kumandas, General Secretary of Africa. And also welcome to all the guests and even international and local guests that can be invited and join us today workshop that is an important one. So today I'm going to present about the policy that can promote sustainable and green finance in order to support agriculture sector transition in a just transition way. So from my presentation, I will be cover some kind of landscape concerning agriculture, agri-food sectors, and second related to national related policies and strategies to promote green finance transition, and also some kind of a little bit of recommendation for all the stakeholders from my understandings. So if you look at the agriculture sector in Cambodia, Cambodia is a vulnerable country from the indicator released by Notre Dame GAIN that during 2023, Cambodia is ranked as a 149th country that is vulnerable to the climate change out of the 178 countries. So this index is represent the vulnerability and readiness of Cambodia. So the red points on the left of quadrant is represent the vulnerability that we need to take actions and build our readiness to absorb the climate finance and also initiative to resolve this kind of problem. If you look at the food sector in relation to food security in agri-food sectors, the index is just 0.5 and above, but the maximum level is ranked as 1. It's suitable for us, meaning that we need to build our readiness and capacity to withstand the climate change. And if we look at the impacts in terms of economic and social, if we do not, take a proper action in terms of mitigation and adaptation efforts, climate change can cause our GDPs around up to around 9% of our Cambodia GDP by 2050, and also reduce our increase our poverty rate, by 6% by 2040. If we look at a certain, impact in terms of people and as well as the rice sectors, for the rice sector, we expected to lose from the rice production by drought in 2019. It's cost a lot of money, huge money, 100 million USD expected in 2019. And for the people, around 2.5 million that are impacted by the drought between 2015 and 2016. This is the record by the World Bank. And this is a global major greenhouse gas emitters that released by the Statista, and China is the big greenhouse gas emitters in the globe, and followed by the United States and China. And if we look into the finance requirement in order to deal with the kinds of problems, we actually need around 1.3 billion USDs by 2035. This is the statistic data from the COP29 Conference of the Parties under UNFCCC. But in fact, the commitment from the development nations is only, a triple from 100 billion USD to 300 billion USD by 2035. This is a very small amount comparing to the commitment or the financial requirement to deal with the climate change issue. So from the scenario of a nationally determined contribution of Cambodia, the green finance need to fulfill our 2030 target to achieve the target to reduce the emission from the business as usual. We actually need for the agriculture sector around 50 million USD, and for the adaptation target is around 300 million. So the totality in order to deal with the climate change in terms of mitigation and adaptation is around 350 million USD. This I would like to illustrate some kind of related national policy and strategy that can support in the green finance transition in agriculture sectors. We have a policy that our previous speakers from the Ministry of Environment and also the others that mentioned about the strategy and policy of in terms of national level. We can see NDC, Cambodia Nationally Determined Contribution, that will be updated into the version 3.0 and will be released during July, maybe soon, in order to deal with the new targets, new activities that can, be some kind of pipeline, specific pipeline for the sectors, including agriculture sector as well, beyond what have been done so far. And we also have a national adaptation plan, long-term strategy for carbon neutrality, and national agricultural development policy, national strategy plan on green growth, code on environmental and natural resources, a pentagonal strategy phase 1 by the government, and circular economy strategy and action plan, and also other related policies. This kind of policy is actually related to agricultural sector and can be, placed as a guidance for us in order to incorporate such kind of activity with a specific target and in line with our national strategy and policy to deal with the agri-food sectors. So we can access through the link that I typed. Under the long-term strategy for carbon neutrality of the government to hit the net zero target by 2050, we actually need, a lot of money, but for agriculture sectors, emission by the business as usual, it's around 34.9 megaton carbon dioxide equivalent. And if we take a proper action, it will, deduct around 15.6 emission reduction megaton carbon dioxide equivalent by 2050 under the long-term strategy for carbon neutrality. So this is also already set in our long-term strategy that we can follow and check what is the activity that can be suitable for us to deal with that kind of, effort and to support the transition. And this is also the expenditure. I mean that private capital as well as the public capital expenditures that can, under the long-term strategy for carbon neutrality, and also provide a cost and benefit as our previous speaker mentioned already. And this is the specific sector under this strategy. Agriculture sector, forestry and other land use, energies, transportation, industrial, process and product use, and also waste. So this is a specific activity. For example, in agriculture sector, we can invest in alternate wetting and drying technology in the rice sector specifically in order to reduce the emission and improve the productivity of the rice sectors. Let me illustrate the national agricultural development policy. This kind of policy is actually support agri-food sectors. It focuses on transforming Cambodian agriculture into a modern, competitive, inclusive, and climate resilient and sustainable sectors. This covered by 4 main areas. It related to the modernization and commercialization of agricultural value chain. In terms of invest into climate resilient, climate resilient technology, and also scale up the to create a new AC, like modern AC. And for the second one is a public and private institution that can mobilize the additional financial resource to support the investment, and also aim to build the resilience for the sectors, and also address all the cross-cutting issues by reforming all the value chains institution. So I would like to show some showcase related to alternate wetting and drying technology that has been done as a pilot project by Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries in partnership with Royal University of Agriculture, and also supported technical support by Saint-Gobain Company. This is some kind of showcasing pilot testing project on rice sector around 30 hectares that can provide the best successful indicators in terms of economic and environment that comparing to the conventional farming. So the indicators show that it can be reduced around 30% of yield by 12%, and also reduce lodging risk as well, and other pest factors, and also especially methane around 43.75%, and this can be the value added to around 10% of rice selling produced under these technologies, and also can be the mechanism to offset the carbon, create the carbon credit in terms of value addition. We hope that from this kind of alternative technology, this will be the leading to set up as a standard of Cambodia in production, low carbon activity practices in rice sectors. And this is some kind of activity done by our regulator, especially Central Bank, National Bank of Cambodia, NBC. And they have done something like provide capacity bidding, integrate ESG principle into the reserve management guideline. They have been a member of network for financial system, completing the report, like sustainable finance, market scoping and capacity bidding, research project, and other green and sustainable financial market analysis. And the works in progress is like managing financial risk related to climate change in the banking sector, building and enabling environment, especially related to national sustainable finance taxonomy, as Dr. Prasoon mentioned already. That is a very critical tool to support us in order to classify the specific activity, investment, eligible projects, what will be done, what should be done in order to meet our country context in terms of green finance or climate finance or something like that, and other pipeline development as well. So NBC have already done in process of finalizing this kind of. In terms of taxonomy, it will be released soon, but for the certain sectors, it's only energy, yes, transport and also I forget about yeah. So this taxonomy will benefit financial institution, non-financial institution, investor, regulator, and policymakers. This is some kind of benefit. And the principle covers 6 areas, but you will, this slide will be released and sent. So it's in the time, shorter time, I will proceed the next slide. And this is some kind of activity done by NBC as well to support taxonomy development as well. And we also got some support from NBC related to a sustainable finance principle done by ABC. And it's a guideline for all financial institutions to adopt the criteria, especially related to ESGs as well. And also a lot of things related to regulatory capital and credit risk for capital adequacy ratio, also released by NBC to support in enabling financial sector to move forward, to transition to the next stage in terms of green finance. So this is from Search, also released a guideline in Cambodian language to issue the bonds. And this is what we have been done under Ministry of Economy and Finance. ARDB is a state-owned enterprise, and we have a specific mandate, and also the mandate is also revised to meet the current context and future context as well, that we can to be a leading green and financial institution in agriculture and rural sector, and even green sector development as well. And SME Bank, is also some kind of state-owned policy bank as well that play different role from ARDB. Because ARDB, we focus on agriculture sector development, and SME Bank focus on the other sectors, and credit guarantees play a significant role in credit enhancement to reduce the, to build the capacity for the business in order to to get additional finance, because Cambodia is still relying on the, loan writing is relying on the collateral, real estate collateral. That is why CGC can play a role in terms of government entity to remove that kind of gap in order to absorb additional fund for that kind of investment in order to transition to more greener and sustainable growth. So thank you very much for the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shirdi, for the valuable perspective. For our next presentation, I would like to invite Mr. Sung Pon, Head of Credit Division and Chairman of the Management Credit Committee of Asidida Bank, to speak on a topic, challenges and opportunities for financial institutions in advancing green finance implementation. Before I hand the floor over to our speaker, I would like to also briefly introduce you to him as well. So he has worked at Asidida Bank for over 27 years, holding leadership roles in audit, credit, and trade finance across Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos PDR. He is currently serving as the head of credit division and chairman of the Management Credit Committee, while also holding a position of a board of director of Asidida Bank Laos Ltd and Credit Bureau Cambodia CBC. The floor is yours, Mr. Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Let me pay respect to Dr. Cao Thach and Dr. Prasup and Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, and all the participants here. Yeah. I will be presenting about the challenge and opportunities for financial institutions, and the way forward to do with the enhancing green finance in Cambodia. Yes. Yes, as you may see, the green finance also the good topic and reach all the stakeholders, and especially for the government and development partners. Yeah. But however, in terms of my observation and also practice in Asidida Bank, we still see some challenge, and also we can unlock for some opportunities that we can move forward. Yes. Okay, let me go in short as some of the challenge and opportunity already raised by Dr. Prasum, and I have some thought to increase more. Yeah. And if the participant can have any other input, we can stop. Yeah. Yeah, we see some relevant to the observation. I see. I will bring up with the 7 key challenges and also 7 key opportunities for FIs. Yeah. The first one relevant to the limit awareness and understanding. Yeah. We see FI and business also still lack of the understanding and awareness on the green projects and green finance. Yeah. And relevant to the financial concept, principle and frameworks, and also the benefits. Yes. And also we see the limit capacity to assess environmental and climate-related risk and opportunity in lending and investment decision. Yeah. When we decide for the investment, we still not clear on the ways. Yeah. And the second one of the challenges, we see the gap in regulation, policy, and also standards. Yeah. Cambodia currently under the development of sustainable finance taxonomy, as mentioned previous presenter. Yeah. And also we see in the sustainable finance taxonomy in Cambodia, we focus on the 3 sectors, as mentioned earlier. Yeah. One is the energy, the second one transportation, and the third one green building. And unfortunately, we don't have sustainable agriculture yet. Yeah. If we have sustainable agriculture, maybe we can increase more our lending to our all stakeholders and SME as well. Yeah. Let me say a little bit for Asia Bank. In terms of agriculture, we have the portfolio around 21% of total portfolio. So currently we have portfolio around 7,000 billion. So around more than 1,000 billion we lend in agriculture. So if we have such the taxonomy and we can comply, and then we can have more raising fund and also support to our SME and also farmer in agriculture as well. Yeah. Another one in the gap. Sorry, we see incentive. Yeah, relevant to the. No, we don't have any tax incentive or other incentive to attract the green investment yet, and maybe we have some, but not a lot of attraction. Yeah, and also absence of the mandatory climate-related financial disclosure. Yeah, so that it will hint the transparency and investor confidence as well. Yeah. And the third one, relevant to the pursuit of the FI. FI pursue that the lending in the green sector look like we pursue high risk and also high cost. Yeah. FI pursue that like the energy, renewable energy, sustainable agriculture as well. It's a high risk due to the unfamiliarity. We pursue that risk. Yeah. And also longer payback period. That's why we feel that high risk as well. And limit credit enhancement mechanism, like Dr. Prasum also mentioned earlier, relevant to the guarantees, relevant to the insurance. Yeah. So this is the way to mitigate risk. Yeah. If we have such of those in our local operation, maybe we increase more relevant to the green finance. Yeah. Enhancing. Yeah. And lack of project record and credit history makes financial decision difficult. Yeah. We see that the record relevant to the green finance also very, very small, that we cannot easy to catch up and to make clear decision making. Yeah. Number 4, relevant to the challenge, we see that weak in ESG data and reporting infrastructure. Yeah. Inadequate availability of environmental data and ESG metrics, yeah, especially among the small and medium enterprise. As my practice to lending, we see that it's not easy to get the how to calculate, how to measure for the SME to how to record their data relevant to the ESG. So we also difficult to track and on that, and so also difficult to report. Yes. And also limit monitoring and reporting system for green finance initiatives. Yeah. This is the case now. Number 5, limit technical capacity that we really need. Yeah. We see FI, most FI also they know that the green finance is also the good opportunity, but they don't know how to do it. So we need to build their capacity. Yeah. And number 6, yeah, market and liquidity constraint. As earlier presentation, we see a lot of fund, right? Fund flow, a lot of fund flow, but financial institutions or banks, not easy to get such a fund. We need to comply a lot of requirements. So that's why it's a constraint. Even though there are a lot of funds, yeah, but not easy to catch up those funds for our lending. Yeah. And the second one, low public awareness and demand as well. Because of the low public awareness, that's why they don't know how to create their demand. So we need to increase their awareness. When the awareness, SME, farmers and other stakeholders know about this well, so they will know that how to increase their demand. Yeah. So now I would like to present how to the unlock opportunity that we have. Yeah. Currently, we have support from the government and also development partners. Yeah. We see that the government increasingly recognizes the importance of the green growth, like the rectangular strategy number 4, we also mentioned, and Cambodia climate change strategic plan, we also include. Yeah. And also National Bank of Cambodia, yeah, has introduced sustainable finance principles in 2021, where for FI to integrate ESG factors. Yeah. National Bank of Cambodia also developing Cambodian sustainable finance taxonomy. Yeah, that may be issued soon. Yeah, yeah. But also they need more increase on other sector as well. Yeah. And National Bank of Cambodia also initiate like Bakong, like the digital platform, yeah, that could support transparency, green financing ecosystem in the future. Yeah. Also, we see that potential for tax incentive, green credit line, and blended finance mechanism. Yeah. Also, development partners like ADB, UNDP, IFC are supporting green finance through the technical assistance and pilot program and funding scheme as well. Yeah. Number 2 of the opportunities, we see the emerging green sector like renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, and eco business present the growing investment opportunity aligned with Cambodian development goals. Yeah. Expansion of sustainable infrastructure and smart city can drive green finance demands. Yeah, this is a large project as well. Yeah. Number 3, we see that the rising demand for sustainable investment and private sector innovation. So we see rising demand and rising innovation. Yeah, like the increased interest from the development partners in funding green projects, corporate demand for green loans, and Cambodian has strong solar, hydro, and biomass potential that attracting the private investment as well. Also growing interest among local banks and FI to develop green loan products. Yeah. Number 4, we see the opportunity number 4. It will create opportunity on digital and fintech innovation. Yeah. Like potential for fintech and digital tools to support outreach and efficiently in the financing green projects. Yeah. Number 5, we see alignment and partnership or capacity building. This is an opportunity that we get. Yeah, that we get opportunity for cross-border financing, regional collaboration with the alignment with ASEAN green finance taxonomy, and also initiatives such as the ASEAN Green Bond Standard. Yeah, and also we have opportunity to collaborate with the international organizations like FGGIZ, yeah, for technical assistance and green credit lines, and also there will be training programs for bank and on green risk assessment and product development as well. Yeah. Number 6, we see the climate risk and opportunity. Climate risk as a strategic priority. When the climate risk becoming more and more, so all FI will get that into their strategic priority. Yeah. And number 7 is the last one, and also the issue. I think the main issue that one, yeah, access to global climate finance. Yeah. Cambodia can tap into climate fund. Yeah. To the risk green and investment. So these are the 7 key opportunity, and let me share with how to do for the next step. Yeah, this is a way forward for FI. One, develop green finance product. Yeah, like the green loan or green bond and sustainability linked loan or bonds. Yeah, this one ACDA have been done. Yeah. Now number 2, enhance ESG risk assessment. For framework and reporting, this one for ACDA also have been done. Yeah. Number 3, partner with development agency to access concessional funding. We try to work with the development agency for concessional funding, because like currently for ACDA Bank we have some portfolio relevant to the green, yeah. But we use our own fund within the high cost and to absorb those projects and those demands. But next step, we need more fund relevant to the low cost of fund. Yeah. And then we try to comply with requirement, especially for the taxonomy, ASEAN taxonomy, and also as well the Cambodian taxonomy, which will be issued soon. Yeah. And also need to engage public-private dialogue to shape opportunity and supportive policy. Yeah. Number 5, leverage fintech to scale lending efficiently. We see that most of the FI also they try to leverage their fintech as well. Yeah. So that's all for my presentation. If you may have any question or adding or input more, please. Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much for the insightful presentation. For our final presentation of this morning's workshop, I would like to respectfully invite Ms. Chuan Manirot, Manager in Climate Finance of the Mekong Strategic Capital, to present on the topic Best Practices, Cambodia Climate Finance Facility, CCFF, under the Green Climate Fund. Now, our speaker this morning is a manager in climate finance at Mekong Strategic Capital, an investment and advisory firm headquartered in Cambodia and operating across the greater Mekong region with expertise in corporate finance, investment management, and climate finance. She has experience in providing sustainable investment advisory services in sustainable agriculture and forestry, and is now focusing on local financial institution readiness for green loan. Ms. Nirot, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Chumrip Sur, Excellency and distinguished guests, very good morning. It has been a very informative Friday so far, the last day of the week, but it has been a very informative. We have heard a lot from the previous presenters. We've heard about, from Dr. Prasanna Kumadas, the urgent need in channeling the investment into climate finance, especially agriculture. We've heard of the critical roles of financial institutions in helping channeling those funds into those climate projects. We have heard of, from the last speaker, of course, challenges and opportunity in how we can propel green finance into those sectors. And now I'm going to share with you the tangible product or tangible solutions that Cambodia is going to implement in order to help propel green finance into eligible sectors. And that solution is called the Cambodia Climate Finance Facility. It's a bit of a mouthful, so I'll shorten to CCFF during my presentations. So CCFF is Cambodia first national green finance facility, and also Asia first domestic climate financing vehicle for private sectors. The CCFF is a $100 million facility that is approved by the Green Climate Fund, GCF, during its board meeting earlier last year. Some standout features of the CCFF include it is a debt facility, it's a loan facility, it provides long-term concessional loans to both private sector climate projects, or we call direct lending, as well as to local financial institutions, banks and MFI in Cambodia, or what we call wholesale funding, at a concessional rate. Before we look into detail the structure of CCFF, I would like to reiterate the previous speakers on the importance of engaging local financial institutions in achieving one country climate change commitments. As we speak, Cambodia needs approximately $8 billion to meet our NDC commitment by 2030. So, how can this be systematically achieved with that $8 billion financing need? Of course, through disbursement via local financial institutions. If we take a look at the trajectory of the loan growth in Cambodia, we'll see that that amount of $8 billion is less than 10% of the total loan book by 2030. Further highlighting the essential importance of engaging banking sector in building our country economic resilience to climate change. And that's the reason why CCFF is structured around this critical role of the local banking sector. To unlock an effective transformations towards green lending, CCFF will be housed within the Agricultural and Rural Development Bank, ARDB, the premise that we are currently in. To allude briefly, this is driven by the fact that ARDB is a state-owned entity, It's a state-owned entity with a social mandate to deliver the Royal Government of Cambodia policy, with a strong aspirations to also support the broader green sector development beyond its focus currently on agriculture. So out of this $100 million facility, GCF will contribute $50 million, half of it. The additional $15 million will be from the Royal Government of Cambodia through the Ministry of Economy and Finance, and the remaining balance will be covered by the other co-financier. It's also worth noting that CCFF has a very strong and robust governance structure, which consists of three separate committees. The first one is an oversight committee. Second is a dedicated green credit committee comprised representatives from MSC, my institutions, from ARDB, as well as KDB. And last but not least, another committee is a TA facility committee, which is for technical assistance. So while we're looking at the role of CCFF and see that lending is the core component, but CCFF is also working to address the non-financial barriers that hinder the uptake of climate projects in Cambodia. So we're also working towards building climate finance capacity to both borrowers and lenders across the sustainability ecosystem in Cambodia. And we're also working to enhance or strengthen the climate finance framework of Cambodia. The key feature of CCFF that I have shown you earlier in slide 1 are intentionally designed to fill the current financing gap that cannot be filled by the like of commercial banks, impact investors, or other DFI in Cambodia. So we'll see CCFF provide loans at a longer tenor, beyond 10 years, which is the typical payback period for climate projects, at an appropriate ticket size, and a lower than market rate interest rate. But that is not to compete with the local commercial banks. It's actually to help de-risk at the earlier stage for climate project, and then attract co-financing from those local banks and MFI at a later stage. So now we've come to the ultimate questions. who then would be eligible to get funding from CCFF. So CCFF will target both solutions or projects from mitigation and adaptations, with the key sector focusing on renewable energy, energy efficiency, sustainable agriculture and forestry, water infrastructure, and low emission transportations. If we look at the pie chart to your right, we'll see this is the opportunity in this sector. This is from the conversation that MIC has been talking to the actual projects in Cambodia over the years. And we can definitely see agriculture is lower, probably the third of all this sector, but we're hoping that with the proper and appropriate financing solution in place like CCFF, this number can be increased to a wider proportions of the chart. But I don't want you to get hung up on the current percentage because these are subject to change based on the rise and fall of this project and businesses. So for the last 5 minutes, 7 minutes or so, you've heard of the actual case of how green finance is implemented in Cambodia. And I hope this can be one of the resources you can refer to for your respective cases and countries. My name is Mona, and I'm here with my colleague Naran, and we're happy to take any question after this. So today, happy Songkran to those celebrated this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing your experience and lesson learned, Ms. Maniron. Before we move to our next session, which is the panel discussion, we would like to have a few minutes to prepare the stage for the discussion. Thank you. I am pleased to invite the session's moderator, Dr. Prasun Kumadas, APRCA Secretary General, to the floor. Please welcome. Next, I would like to respectfully invite our distinguished panelists to the stage. Our first panelists bring over 20 years of experience in agriculture, finance, and rural development. Development. At BAAC, he has led initiatives in agricultural value chain financing, SME agri-enterprise financing, and community development. He currently oversees international collaborations promoting sustainable agriculture and low-carbon finance for farmers in Thailand. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vichai Paksa, Director of the Office of Foreign Affairs of the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, or BAAC, to the panel. Our second panelist has over 2 decades of leadership experience in social enterprise and food safety. He has pioneered the integration of agri-tech blockchain and 4P public-private producer partnerships models in Cambodia's rice and agricultural value chains. He holds an executive MBA from Portland State University and corporate management training from Japan. To welcome Mr. Kan Kunthi, Vice President of Cambodia's Rice Federation, CRF, Chief Operating Officer of Amru Rice, and Managing Director of Cambodian Agriculture Cooperatives Corporation, CACC. Our last panelist plays a pivotal role in advancing green finance policy and practice at ARDB. With more than a decade of experience in agricultural finance, policy development, and institutional capacity building, Mr. Sherdy has been instrumental in the design and rollout of ARDB Green Finance Program, including those aligned with Cambodia's national strategies on climate change and sustainable agriculture. He is also a key contributor to the bank's partnership engagement with multilateral institutions, climate funds, and development partners. Please welcome Mr. Thai Sadi, Head of Green Finance Department of ARDB. Now, to proceed to the discussion, I would like to hand the floor to Dr. Prasun. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for your presence also. Since morning, we are learning a lot about green finance. We have our friends from the bank, those who have already practicing the green finance and come out with the challenges and issues related to application of green finance to agri-food sector. We also learned about how the green finance facility will be supporting the green transition, especially in agriculture sector. So within this this direction and what we are trying to achieve through this conversation on various areas related to green finance, we have our colleagues as already introduced to you. We will be not taking much time. But we have a common question for all three of you, and then we will go for specific question based on their affiliation to their institution. So the common question for all of you is how can you explain about how your institutions are responding to the recent advancement in green finance to agri-food sector. First, I invite Mr. Vichai Paksa.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Prasun, and First of all, I would like to express sincere gratitude to ARDB to invite us, and also APRAGA to invite BAC to join this session, and also that congratulations to ARDB to establish this kind of the excellent center about the green finance. So as Dr. Prasoon said, I'm from the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives in Thailand. That is what we call is SFI, or Specialized Financial Institution, that we provide the financial support to the farming sector around is echo?
There is somebody open.
Okay. It's around 7 million farm households in Thailand. So let's go straight about the green financing. I think you have to turn off. Yeah? The experience of the green financing from the perspective and the experience from BAC. In terms of the instrument that we issue the green bond. Okay, just a moment. No. Okay. We issued the green bond in 2020. That is the support from the British government. So under the green bond that we issue around 6 billion Thai baht, that's equal to around 200 million US dollars, something like that. So then for the tenure of the green bond is around 5 years and 10 years. And this is the experience that we also, the first SFI in Thailand that we issue the green bond. And as Dr. Prasoon said, that this is the first green bond that we allocate the source of fund to use in the green agricultural sector as well. So then this is the side of the source of fund. And also in terms of the use of fund, we use this kind of the green bond into two major categories of the loan. The first one, we said that this is what we call a Go Green credit. So then the Go Green credit is mainly for the forestation to the farmers or even the rural community in Thailand. And the second one is we call the green credit. Green credit, we provide the loan to support. The first one is a sustainable agriculture, or even a renewable energy in agriculture, and a food safety, and also in terms of cultural conservation in the rural community. Because the role of the BAC, as I would like to give you the idea, is we are in the first part, we are the financial institution. But in the second part, we also what we call a rural development bank as well. So that could be go together in terms of not just only financing, but it's also in terms of develop the community. So then, for my side, this is the experience that how BAC was initiate the green bond, and also that how we use the green bond for financing. I think I will finish my point from here, and then I will give the stage to other panelists. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Khun Vichai, for providing the overall idea about how BAC has developed their green bond, and maybe later on we will be taking your support also so that ARDB and other banks here in this region can issue green bond in the similar way. Now coming to Mr. Kunti, as we are now, we know that Amru rice has become very popular across the region as well as globally. and I have been approached by International Food Policy Research Institute, IFRI, to develop a case on AMRU and to understand how the finance goes to the to this green transition of AMRU. So can you please, I mean, as a general, how you respond to the recent advancement in greening the rice sector in Cambodia?
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Prasoon. I'm privileged to share the floor with the expert here. And good morning, distinguished guests, local and regional and global. So I'm wearing actually 3 hats today, but maybe just talk about 2 hats. So the hat of Vice President of Cambodian Rice Federation, we are my Secretary General here, and my 2 colleagues from Rice Mill here as well, also wearing the hat of AMRU Rice on that. So the question is, how are we responding to this? So actually, AMRU Rice is a 15-year company by today, but our journey of contract farming started 11 years ago. And in terms of the Green Climate Fund initiative, actually, we have actually just finished the regenerative agriculture workshop on February 27 and 28. Our journey so far have been very supportive from ARDB under the leadership of Dr. Excellency Khao Thach. We also work with CAPRED. I saw a new family face here. They're supporting us in terms of energy efficiency assessment, also trying to do scope 2 and scope 3. This is very complex of the ESG matrix. At the same time, Mekong Capital is here, one our advisor or consultant in terms of developing the roadmaps on that. So how we address and how we respond to this? So as a company, we're looking at I think the first and most important is where the market is. So Cambodian rice sector has been developed over the last 10 years because our beneficiary to EBA, to Europeans. So we see Green Climate Fund as part of that initiative because Cambodia also part of the Paris climate change. So at AMRU Rice, we have developed a roadmap quite similar to what Cambodian government is trying to do. But you know, as the small and medium enterprise, to integrate ESG into it is very costly. So we saw this morning, Mr. Chudi presented about AWD, the alternative wet and dry, by Thanks Gabon. And actually, we also partner with another company called Gabon Farm to do this AWD pilot as well, almost in the same area. So it's a journey, I would say. It's not a one-time off. It's a journey, and it is costly for short term, but for medium and for long term, it could be beneficiary. So we are the first rice mill in Cambodia that installed solar on the rooftop of our warehouse, but it costs us more to install. Because we got capacity charge from EDC on that. But we see this as a journey on that. And we are the largest rice mill and exporter when it comes to contract farming. So we have both organic contract farming and conventional. When it comes to conventional, we implemented 2 things. One is the SOP. I think most if people are from agriculture here, together with CRF, Harvest 3, but of course Harvest 3 now closed. We launched the SOP national chapter in Cambodia, and SOP trying to work with they're trying to integrate the regenerative agriculture. So the whole idea is how can you keep the methane gas within the soil to reduce the emission. So one of the model is AWD, it's alternative wet and dry, but it's only applicable if you have irrigation system which is drainage, where you can flood and dry the rice field. Unfortunately, in Cambodia, at the moment, maybe less than 5% of the irrigation system where you can do flood and drying. So another solution we do is the called RegenAg, regenerative agriculture, or you call this is for conventional, which means you can apply cover crop, less tillage, transit, because the more you do the tilling or ploughing, the carbon would emit to the atmosphere. So that's another option on that. And then for organic, because it's a rain-fed, and the land is uneven, because the organic area is on the mountainous or the plateau, then you can do ROC, regenerative organic certification. So this is including the livestock husbandry, biochar, cover crop, all of this. So we look into the possibility of how are we going to be in climate fund, or you call it GCF, or you call it CCFF on that. But again, it's a journey, and I would say it's very costly for small and medium enterprise because the matrix is very complex. Enabling environment is not there yet. It's a work in progress. There has been presentation this morning by MOE, shared by Aklida, also shared by Judy. But this is the way forward, whether we like it or not. But also there are a lot of interruption with the new term president from the US. You see, he pulled out from Paris climate change. He pulled out all of that. So we don't know, but we do what we can. And I believe Cambodia is at a good position because our agriculture is not fully commercialized or industrialized like neighboring country yet. And so the opportunity to go green, the opportunity to get a carbon credit when it comes to rice, there's a couple of things. Of course, in medium and long term, you can get carbon credit, but also you can brand rice as a low carbon emission if there's a track record or there's a validation on that. So we are working on this. Thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you, Mr. Kunti, for providing us how AMRU as a company and also your Rice Federation, how you are supporting the rice, the technology transfer. That I think is very important here. How the green technology will be useful for. But what I think AMRU also practice another thing is reduction of N2O. By organic, using organic more than the inorganic. So that limitation and the threshold level also need to be known, very technical. At the same time, you talked about the carbon credit, which we are thinking in terms of the banks. Most of the banks use the collateral as a security. Now, how this carbon credit can be used as a collateral. So that will be the next level of thinking. Thank you again for, now we will come back to you with the next question. But before that, I go to Mr. Judy for providing idea about, ARDB is the first bank, public development bank in ASEAN region to start a green finance department full-fledged. No other banks do have a green finance department, although all of them are doing it, but as a green finance department, ARDB is one of the leader. So we would like to know from you, because you are, since the inception, you are the head of this department. How do you think that these advancements will be helpful to ARDB and also supportive to bring the knowledge about the green finance or green transition in agriculture?
Thank you again, Dr. Prasoon, for this question. Is very important to us in terms of a policy bank. So I would like to emphasize on the mission of ARDB. Because we, as a government policy bank, we not only play a role as a commercial bank, but policy bank in supporting agriculture sector development in Cambodia in line with national strategy and policies. That is why when it comes to the climate change issues, it actually needs another stage, as our speaker mentioned, that we need to upgrade our system, we need to do some kind of enhancement of our policy and credit. That is why our management, especially Excellency Dr. Kao Thach, he is actually a visionary leaders that drive the change in terms of a policy bank. So to respond to these questions, it's actually we we do some kind of major change in terms of a roadmap. We have our own roadmap, but when it comes to tackle the climate change issues, we actually revise our roadmap in order to align with the context of the country and global context as well. That is why the roadmap is some kind of revision with, from the conventional business model to a sustainable one, to support not only a conventional agriculture practice, but also sustainable practice in the future. So this revision in relation to, not only green transitions, but also digital transition as well. This is some kind of alignment with the Pentagonal strategy as well as the other related policy and strategy of the government of Cambodia. This is what we have done so far. So let me give you some example in terms of activities under our roadmap revisions. We actually set some kind of ultimate goal or long-term strategy for us in order to gain the accreditation status from the Green Climate Funds, in order to channel the concessional fund to support all the agriculture sector value chains in Cambodia, in order to build their adaptive capacity, enhance their business model from conventional to more sustainable. This is some kind of transition finance for them. Obviously, we also develop our particular products, green lending product, that can address all the concerns, challenge so far for the agri-businesses in Cambodia. Like we provide, a broader area of intervention that can provide all the agriculture value chains to access to the fund from AODB with a concessional rate and affordable, mechanisms to build their adaptive capacity and to reduce their vulnerability under the climate change context. And we also take another step. We are doing another step to create a sustainable finance product. We are working closely with the development partners to develop a loan bundle product that kind of impacts finance, because we reduce the barrier in terms of collateral requirement. This kind of pilot project will be released soon because we see the urgency of intervention in terms of government policy. Because loan underwriting, as you mentioned, relying on a collateral, real estate collateral. That is why we design this product without a collateral requirement, but we engage all the insurance companies and other stakeholders in order to drive change, to provide affordable for the borrowers to access this kind of funds. And also, we also would like to gain the status of a national climate development bank for Cambodia. That is the long-term strategy of our management as well. So I think that, we'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Judy, for providing the roadmap and also how you revise the roadmap of being a development bank to a policy bank, as well as doing some retail financing as well. So this the journey, as Mr. Kunti was also telling, it's not a one-day affair. It's a real journey. So our first part of the questions are done. We will now come into the specific question based on the institutional capacity and capabilities. So my first question to BAAC, Mr. Vichai Paksa, that we have seen in ASEAN context, green bond as one of the most important debt instrument is gaining a lot of popularity. And you have already issued the green bond, and some of the other financial institutions are trying to issue the green bond. So you might have faced a lot of challenges while doing so. So if you agree with this, what is your experience? can a bank like ARDB or maybe Acleda or maybe other banks, can they issue this type of bond to collect no fund for greening agriculture?
Okay, so thank you for the question. I think that many of us here are quite familiar with the term of the green product, like the green bond, something like that. So for the experience of the BAC and also in around Asian country, I think that the debt instruments such as the green bond, something like that, is still I think it might be more relevant, or the how can we develop is more familiar or even is suitable for us, because of I think that if we compare to in terms of the equity, it might be difficult in our region. So because of in terms of the bond or the debt instrument, it might be lower in terms of the risk, as Dr. Prasoon already mentioned. I think that will be have a secure in terms of the what we call the long-term interest, or like a long-term what is the benefit back for the investor. I think that is one of the key constraints of the issuing like the green bond. It's also the same in BAC. So I would like to say that that is might be what we call the pros. But by the way, in order to issue the green bond, we have to think about that. It doesn't mean that we will do all the thing by our own self. It should to have to meet the standard. Like a BAC, we have to meet what is the Asian green bond standard as well. And also in terms of the reviewer, we need to have the external reviewer like the EY from Singapore. That is one of the key key concern for the organization. If you have to want to issue the green bond, is also need to bear some cost that it will be occur. So then that's why it have a pros and cons in this case. And I also want to link to the use process of use of the green bond. Once you issue the green bond and you have the investor to invest in your bond, but by the way that you use the bond as a source of fund, you have to make sure that in terms of the monitoring and reporting, that is quite crucial, and it will be you have to to train, have to provide the capacity building to the people in your organization in order to make sure that the report has the right report, and also that meet the requirement. Because of in case of the green bond, the investor, they will be have to aware that it's not much the green watching. That is very the case that we have to bear in mind. So for my opinion, that the green bond issuing is not a big deal. But by the way that you prepare the people in order to do to manage the bond, that is the way that we have to think more. I think that finally, if we can issue the green bond and invest more money, the benefit will go to the agricultural society. But for me, that I think it's not just only agriculture sector, but agriculture sector, the benefit will link back to environment and social as well. So that is my opinion. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Vijay Paksa, for providing a few very important point that it's not important to issue the bond. Issuance is only one part of, let's say, 5 major function. So that is only one part. But after that, you have to maintain the reporting system, the reviewing, and also usage of the fund, where you are using the fund. So these are very important, and you have to know little bit visionary to look beyond 5 to 10 years. Because the bonds are generally 5 to 10 years. So you have to look beyond that, how you are using the bonds, the collected money. And also whom you are placing the bond, who are your buyer, who are your investors. So these are, because we have seen that green bonds attract less interest than the normal fixed deposits or normal bond. So it's a little bit risky for the banks also to issue. However, it is your bond is already very successful, and probably you are going for another tranche of bond. We really appreciate your support to other institutions. Also, we are expecting that we will also support other financial institutions regarding your journey and challenges you faced. Coming to Mr. Kunti, there is a myth, that environment friendly processing is a big company's job. So the myth has to be broken. So we need to also provide knowledge to the SMEs, small and medium enterprises. They are also very important entity in any system. And in Cambodia, especially the rice meals are very, very important in terms of its contribution to the economy. So what do you think do you change, or you want to have a alternate production pattern which are environment friendly and support the green transition in SMEs, especially in the rice sector, because you are more in the rice sector. So we would like to know from you about what are the steps you have taken, or what are the steps you are going to take in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prasun. Based on our experience, ESG or green finance is an ongoing process, and the cost of being compliant for a short term is very painful and costly. And if we talk about sustainability, the most important part for financial institution or bank, first and foremost, is your financial sustainability. So you have to balance that. And from our experience in running Cambodian Rice Federation, 4 points as a 4th term, to establish a national chapter. So the enabling environment is very important. Being SME onboarding is very important. The funding have to come with the TA, technical assistance, because the knowledge is still very limited about the ESG. And this ESG, basically, if you look at it at a broader term, is an IFC performance standard. And IFC performance standard is not developed for small and medium, for large company. So at Amru Rice, we have to train and we have to onboard a lot of resource, which is very costly. But the good thing is that we have done this over the years, and right now we are working with most of the importers who are retail market that require part of that. So my suggestion or my recommendation to the SME in Cambodia is that first and foremost, you look at where you are now. This is very important to do the assessment and how you want to be in next 3 or 5 years, and then try to work with development partner. Amru would not have been here without the support from different development partner like CapRed, like Harvest 2, Harvest 3, and also without support from AODB. And some of those impact, we call impact investor, they come with a technical assistant as well. Because the way we look at it is that Cambodia should not compete with Vietnam and Thailand, because Vietnam and Thailand have its own strengths. Cambodia should look at its own strength and develop from there. That's how we look at it. And the good thing is we are coming late into the market, because rice sector is just less than 15 years. We export in 2009. So you can have access to those latest technology, leapfrog. You don't need to use all those rice milling technology, which is consume a lot of energy. Because when it comes to the ESG, the vehicle you are using, the rice milling you are using also playing very important part, because you have to report on the diesel use, the energy usage, water usage, and then you have to calculate this into how being emitted. But I think the most important part for Cambodia is government intervention and the enabling environment. I think Akrida already presentation about this, because there's a lot of gray area on that. For example, Amrurai, we have been working with 60 agricultural cooperatives around the country, both organic and conventional, representing 20,000 smallholder farmers. Imagine, to train and to keep hold of those 20,000 smallholder farmers is very costly on that. But if you want, whether you like it or not, if you want them to be on board and working with you, you have to have a carrot and stick initiative on that. They would not, and it's normal. If I were the farmer, I would be the same. I would not care about next 5 years, 10 years, what is it important for me now? Reducing input cost, increase yield. Who is going to buy my rice? Is it my rice going to be more expensive? Of course, if next 5 years, if you get carbon credit, then we can share. Because rice sector is different to, just for example, Ministry of Environment, the tree, the forest belong to the governments. Rice, the land is being owned by the farmer, even it's under Ministry of Agriculture. So there's a lot of complex on that. And if you want to go for carbon credit, if you want to go for Region X, what if next 5 years farmers stop planting the rice, or they switch to some other crop? So you have to think ahead on that. So there's a lot of challenge on that. But regardless, at Amrurai, we have my friend here from City Rice or from other rice as well. We are still milling rice, buying rice, and export rice. So it's very important for us to work with our farmers, small scale. It's not a large. But agriculture sector anywhere in the world, in developed country, it's heavily subsidized. So I like the word concessional loan. It have to be affordable. But concessional loan in which way? Because sometimes the impact financing can be very costly at the beginning, the cost of compliance. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Mr. Kunti, for bringing in very, very important issues related to banking and investment. Definitely one of the major area of circular economy which are being followed in Vietnam of late is using the rice husk as the energy. So no need to report, because your 20,000 farmers can provide you all the rice husk required. Maybe 20% you can reduce your energy efficiency. So there are best practices across the region. We are here. APRACA is providing all this, documenting the best practices. We definitely, will support any of the best practices you need, and also organize your visit to those places. You are right that it's expensive to know change, but we need the change. Without change, we cannot do the green transition. Coming to again, Mr. Jyoti, about because you are a financial institution. So, being a financial institution, you use a lot of financial instrument and products. Most of them we call in our term as a low-hanging fruit, like crop loan. It's a low-hanging fruit. So your 90% of your farmers are using the crop loan. But what are the instruments which has a multiplier effect on the farmers who want to go to transit to the green? So what are the most effective financial instrument you think, because you are now heading the Green Finance Department, so you must be dealing with many of the instruments, as you said, in your previous intervention, that so what are the most interesting and effective financial instrument.
Thank you again, Dr. Prasoon, for this important question. It's very challenging to answer, but I'm trying to address this as well, because this is an opportunity for us to sit together to address this kind of common challenges. As mentioned by our previous speaker from Acleda, it's a lot of challenge and opportunity that we can take from that kind of intervention. So I would like to get back a little bit in terms of rationale under the convention in relation to climate change. So in this case, from the global intervention, we actually need the support from the developed nation to contribute, to commit, to provide concessional finance to support the developing nations in terms of build their resiliency, adapt to the climate change context and even current situation, but for the future, which is unprecedented even in the future. So this kind of mechanism provides us three kind of pillars. The first one is finance in relation to technology development and transfer, and the third one is related to capacity building. So the thing is that we are thinking about is how to address, how to link this, how to make all the things available, accessible, and also affordable for us all together in terms of all the stakeholders. So this is a question that we need to address all together. So when it comes to channeling the finance so resources with the concessionality, it's actually difficult. For Cambodia is one of the developing countries among the others in the Asia and the Pacific regions. We may face the same challenge as well within the region. So when it comes to the instrument, the most effective financial instruments, it actually, from the bank experience, because we are working a lot with the development partners like ADB, World Bank, IFAD to develop a project, development projects. So we see the unique effective instruments is some kind of blended scheme. Because the blended scheme is a combination of even that instrument, grant, and also technical support. This is some kind of effective mechanism that can support in the macro level to assess the concessional funding into Cambodia. And when it comes to loan or debt instruments, it actually, we need a concessional one in order to support in lowering the cost of investment from not only for the supply side of the finance, but also the demand side of the finance, especially for the agricultural value chain players. And this is very challenging for us because as I mentioned from the previous slide presentation, I mentioned about the vulnerability index and also readiness for Cambodia. That is why we need to build the capacity for our Cambodian agribusiness, not for the public sector, but also the private sectors as well. This is, we need some kind of grant to support in capacity building, like a technical assistance, and the grant facility also, support in terms of play a critical role as a credit guarantee scheme. On sometimes in the form of a first loss capital, as Dr. Prasoon mentioned, as a financial instrument in an effective way. So this can reduce the challenge, the burden of the demand side of the finance to increase their accessibility to the finance. This is some kind of effective way as well. Another thing is that recognized by me in terms of, to remove the gaps between demand and supply side. It's about our contribution ourselves. It's some kind of in-kind contributions. If we want to drive change, we do not depend only on the others, but we depend on ourselves. We need to change our behavior. like to adopt to the context, adopt to the regulation, international standard, and something like that. This is an in-kind contribution, obviously, from our program, CCFF program. It's designed, this program is designed with a blended scheme. The first one is 100 million USD as a lending facility. The second component is grant facility. This grant facility is designed to build the capacity of AODB and all the stakeholders to remove the barrier in access to the finance. We will engage local financial institutions with, with the capacity building and pipeline development or something like risk management framework as well, in order to remove the barrier, in order to uptake all the climate finance. This is what we are considering. So the most effective way or financial instruments is a blended scheme. For example, in another project that has been developed or implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, is a climate resilient enhancement for building capacity of agri value chains in Cambodia. It also comes up with a global environment facilities. It's a grant. It's a grant. And also co-financed by IFAD. It's a part of a Aspire AT project as well, to support the agriculture value chain, especially for agricultural cooperatives, modern agricultural cooperative farmer organizations, to build their resilient adaptive capacity to the climate change in terms of crop production. And this may be focus on the investment in the climate resilient technology, like renewable energy or something like that, or energy efficiencies. This is actually very important in terms of effective financial instruments. Thank you, Dr. Person.
Yes, thank you very much for bringing in this very interesting instrument, which we call it as a blended instrument. And it's basically structured. So structured financing has to be done at a bank's level, bringing in all the stakeholders, as you said, capacity building. That is not only the financial institutions or the cooperative, but also to the demand side, that is the farmers. So for the farmers, it is the government. So government has to be there. Even the companies like Amru, they have 20,000 farmers. So all these stakeholders are important. It is not only the financial instrument, but also at the same time other stakeholders are equally important in this. I think we are still on time. If you have any are you on time, or you have? Can we go for one or two questions to the panelist? Maybe maximum 2 questions.
Yes, I think that should be okay.
Okay. So if any of you have any question to the panelist here, including me, we can here please.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ban Lim, DCO of ARDB. So this morning, all the speakers and panelists talking more about the green finance product or green finance strategy and their impact on their operation. So I would like to raise not 2 questions, but 3 questions. One panelist, 1 question. So I apologize for that. First of all, I would like to raise the question to the Mr. Vachai. That is, he has a good experience in the BAC in Thailand. So how can a company collaborate with financial institutions to create more green investment opportunity? I think you have experience on that. So the second question regard to the Mr. Kunti, that is the Amru Rai. How can the business integrate green finance into their corporate strategy and operation, because the Amrurai has the over 20 years in operation in Cambodia. So the third question is regarding to the Mr. Zerdi, that is the director of the ARDB, that he has a lot of experience on the green financing and also share experience in the green financing product. So the question is, how can you raise public awareness about the importance of green finance for sustainable development in Cambodia? Because you are the policy maker, you are the bank, so how can you raise the public awareness to the Cambodian people to understand more about green finance for sustainable development? Thank you.
No, thank you, Mr. Ban Lim, for raising very pertinent questions and very practical questions. So first question goes to you.
Okay, thank you for the question. That okay, for the question about how the company that collaborate or have the participate in the green investment, I will be classify into two sides, the demand side and the supply side. In terms of the supply side, yes, for the green bond, that usually that the people who buy the bond is the company outside the country of Thailand. So that is because of okay, they might be use this kind of bond to represent in their portfolio that they already invest in the green business, something like that, or even it is indirect. But by the way, for the demand side, yeah, for the green bond that we use for the green credit and green forest credit, they go for both individual farmers or like the entrepreneur or even the cooperatives. So that is the way that we can bring the company or the organization to participate in the green investment. But by the way, I think that is not only one way that we can bring the company to participate. One important thing that I would like to think the same with Mr. Kunti, that the company, if we look through the whole value chain, they also play the important roles. It might be as the company that want to set up okay, this is the company that accept to buy the green or low carbon rights, something like that. That is also the role of the company, that they can jump into the green investment, even the indirect investment. But by the way, that is the way that they enabling environment of the green financing, in particular the region or I think that is the way that I can define that what BAC has done and how can we introduce or encourage the company or the private sector into the green investment in Thailand. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ban, for the question. So from AMRU perspective, again, I think first and foremost, very important for a company to do a self-analysis in terms of the most important part is where is your market, whether your market requires such requirements. So AMRU has identified our strengths and also the Cambodian strengths that, and if we look back at Cambodian rice, again, we export to Europe, and Europe is leading in terms of, even now there's a carbon footprint emission where you have to report, deforestation where you have to report, some sort of like that. And there's a lot of things to do, and this is very important part, especially when it comes to R&D. And we are also, ARDB are also this afternoon launching the Center of Excellence in R&D. So, for example, in agriculture, most of our irrigation system is pumping system, not a drainage. But you can deploy solar technology for pumping. Don't need to use diesel, just for example, right? And now, because solar is much more affordable, you also can put on the rooftop Of course, there's a law coming in, there's some sort of clarification is needed. And if you are in a transport sector, then there's an EV coming up. I see the fund also $100 million, that's also 45% would be qualified for that. And at the moment in Cambodia, it's not yet compulsory in terms of reporting, but in Europe, most of the big importers, they have to report to their own governments, and they require the supplier to report. And if you're supplying to them like Amru or Citirai or whatever, that's part of their due diligence. You have to fulfill their questionnaire. In Australia and New Zealand, it's the same. So those companies, either they do the insetting or offsetting. Either they have to buy from the company that supply and qualify for this, or you can go for example, we have a REDD Plus in Cambodia. If you produce 20 million tons or whatever, then you have to pay for a country in Cambodia or Indonesia to offset of that. So there's a way to do, and with this technology, it's also very important. But the hardest part so far is, especially in Cambodia, there's no synchronized metric in terms of tracking. ACLIDA might have its own assessment, ARDB might have its own assessment, IFC have its own assessment, and then for small and medium company in Cambodia, it's very hard to comply all of this resource. But there's a way to do it, and I think that's also an opportunity. That's why I mentioned earlier, the TA is very important for training, capacity building on board. And there should be a grace or incentivized period, because the most important part for the country is building the SME and building the middle class. They are the one who pay tax. They're the one who create jobs. Without the SME, without the middle class, then the economic is not strong enough. Especially now, we're talking about deglobalization, or no longer globalization. So each country is trying to be self-sustained. Even Indonesia used to import a lot of rice. The new president come in, whether can be realized or not, he said, let's go for self-sustains. So reducing the import of rice, then there's impacts on Cambodia, Vietnam, so whatever. But we have to rely on ourselves. We have to build our cohesion and the system on that. So thank you.
Thank you, Excellency Ban Lim, DCO of AODB, for the question that are related to public awareness in terms of green finance and sustainable finance. So AODB take a lead to do this. So first of all, we need to build our own capacity first, and then we will disseminate that kind of effort to the public. But for example, AODB, we actually take the lead in the green finance. So we develop our own specific product in terms of green finance. And then we jump into the specific sectors and release that kind of finance also to support agriculture value chain. This is leading by an example by doing that. So that this is some kind of green finance public awareness as well. This is one thing. And another thing, we are trying to join hand between the related line ministry and development partners in order to develop a lot of training material, a lot of information, and will be released through. The first one is related to we actually have our own TV online that can release a public, whoever who would like to understand about the activity of AODB, you can see online TV. This online TV is not so to get benefit from the public, but in exchange we actually to contribute to social and economic impact. This is what we are doing right now. So another example, we signed the MOU between government and ministry, especially a Ministry of Environment, to do the campaign in terms of public awareness in relation to green finance or sustainable finance related to field. So we are going to deploy that kind of campaign next soon. And the last one is because we have a time constraint, I think that today's workshop is about ACEGFA, Africa Center of Excellence. This kind of Center of Excellence play a critical role as a platform to gather all information, to publish pilot innovative business model or lending product. A lot of knowledge will be gathered here and then shared publicly through our channel, especially our website of APRACA SEGFA. So this is some kind of public awareness as well. So thank you very much.
I just want to add one more point. As ARDB doesn't have many branches as BAAC do have, so you work with the partners, the local partners. So maybe your program can also direct to the local partners, those who will in turn disseminate the knowledge to the farming community. And also your connection with the government line departments will be very much helpful when you have both the logo of ARDB as well as the government. Because once you get a logo of the government, it has got more acceptability on the ground. So I think that kind of, using the power of the government also very important for the dissemination. So thank you very much for this question. I think she is looking at me to complete this session. Maybe you guys are also hungry. I thank Vichai, Mr. Kunti, and Jyoti for your knowledge, and whatever we have learned from today might be very much useful when we call the walk the talk. Thank you very much. Thank you again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasoon, and our esteemed panelists. I would like to please invite you back to your seat, please. Yes, first of all, allow me to also extend my apologies to Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, for exceeding the time. We would like to kindly request a few more minutes to conclude our event. So before we proceed to our next item on the agenda, I would like to take a moment to express our sincere appreciation to our distinguished speakers and panelists for taking the time off of their busy schedule to join us this morning. So our team has prepared a small token of appreciation to all of our speakers and panelists. So to start off, I would like to invite His Excellency Ban Lim, Deputy CEO of ARDB, to the stage to deliver the certificate of appreciation and token appreciation to our esteemed moderator and speaker, Dr. Prasoon Kumadas. So please come up to the stage. Thank you very much. And Dr. Prasoon, please remain on stage or the front of the stage, please, so that you can hand over the certificate to our panelists and speakers. Yes. So as I call your name, please kindly come up to the stage to receive your certificate and token of appreciation. So firstly, can I have Mr. Ong Seun, Climate Finance Specialist under the General Directorate of because he left early, so we will keep that for him.
They have any representative?
No, he came alone, unfortunately. Yes, we can keep that for him. Right. So firstly, allow me to invite Mr. Sung Pon, Head of Credit Division and Chairman of the Management Credit Committee of the ACLIDA Bank, to the stage to receive your certificate. Thank you very much. And second, may I have Ms. Chuan Muniron, Manager in Climate Finance of the Mekong Strategic Capital. Dr. Person, please stay. Yes. Next, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Vijay Paksa, Director of the Office of Foreign Affairs of the Bank for Agriculture and Agricultural Cooperatives, BAAC, to the stage. Thank you. Next, may I have Mr. Kan Kunti, Vice President of the Cambodia Rice Federation, CRF, COO of Amru Rice, and Managing Director of CACC, to the stage. And lastly, I'm pleased to invite Mr. Thai Jerdi, Head of the Green Finance Department of ARDB. Now I would like to invite all speakers and panelists to the stage for another group photo, please. Please give a big round of applause to our speakers and panelists. Thank you very much for all of your contribution. Yes, please return to your seat. Thank you very much. And now to formally conclude the proceedings of today's workshop, I am honored to invite Dr. Prasun Kumadas, APRACA Secretary General, to deliver the closing remark. Thank you.
Yes, now it's good afternoon. I think I should not take much time, but few lessons I learned. I think you will, all of you will agree that green finance to agri-food sector is one of the major thrust in next 5 years. That is one of the lesson. Second lesson, that it is not the banks or the financial institution or the government will do this green finance. It is you, me, all together. So it's a journey. I take this word from Mr. Kunti. It's not a one-day affair. It's a journey. I call it as a social engineering. You have to make the people aware, as Mr. Banlim was telling, how you make the people aware. So it's a social engineering. Third thing I learned, and I think we all agree that the investment will not only come from the public sector, the private sector is also very important, because one of the data was shown by Mr. Judy that how the private sector can come in. The fourth thing which I also learned, that you are getting 100 million or 50 million as an external support, whereas you are leveraging that to 600 million, means 6 times. So leveraging is becoming more and more important. Means if, as Mr. Kunti was telling, that we need concessional lending, yes, but at the same time you have to leverage that to 6 times, 10 times. More and more leverage, it means you are reaching out to more and more people. So with this, I think I thank all of you for your patience, and because I know it is a lunchtime already over. So thank you very much for your patience and your questions also, and the learnings I have in during this last 3 hours. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasun. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the conclusion of today's program. But before formally concluding the event, we would also like you to have to give us a few more minutes of your time to evaluate and provide feedback for our workshop today, so that we also know how to improve our workshop for future engagements. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our deepest appreciation for your presence, engagement, and valuable contributions. Our team has also prepared some light meals and snacks just outside the hall as well. So if you would like to stay for a couple more minutes to network and get to know each other, please feel free to do so. Thank you once again, and please have a wonderful and pleasant afternoon. Thank you.